right.
Phenomenal, man.
Guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Boundaries and Brotherhood Facebook Live audio series. I'm your host, Gordon Wat, with my co-host, partner, and therapist.
Dr. Keith Fairclough,
And
welcome.
today's
back in-
topic is going to be about the confidence on episode 6. We're calling this assertive communication techniques and the importance of that. Now, a lot of the times, I see with men, everything with professional lives, with just relationships, they're never assertive. I don't get it. I just was talking to Doc about this. But me going to prison, I think so. I missed the gap of what happened to these men for being confident in everything. Doc, can you give us an intro or explain what's going to be?
In this audio series, guys, we're going to be talking about, like Gordon just said, what happened? When did guys stop being assertive? When did we start letting people walk all over us or treat us any kind of way? When did we shut down and stop being the leaders, providers, and protectors that we're meant to be? And then what can we do to get back to being assertive? And I promise you, it's not. Now, this is something it doesn't take a whole series to learn, to do. Like, after you're done listening to this, you'll be able to start being assertive right now, like in your life, with your peers, with your boss, with your spouse. And you don't have to be a jerk in order to do it. So that's what you're in store for, guys.
I see we have some techniques that we wrote down. Let me introduce this. A lot of the times, men, even with women, I don't like this passive aggressiveness. To me, it's lying. What I've learned in my therapeutic sessions and stuff like that, it's basically lying. But explain to them what this SIR technique is. SERR, which situated, it's what? You made it. I know it is. Explain it to our guests, because how it can help with confidence and stuff.
So the SIR method it's a version of using I statements that I created. If you ever looked at I statements before, they talk about say your feelings first. But I created this version out of a situation that actually happened to me. And I realized that, the situation, so I won't go into a great detail on this, but a situation took place with me where I responded to somebody out in public the way I would respond to my wife. And I started recognizing that, oh, shoot, it's not my wife. My wife's not the issue. She's not the problem.
Oh.
The problem was the situation. And so when I figured that out, I wanted to flip it. And so what I did was SIR stands for situation, as far as how to conversate, right? So situation, you talk about what the situation is. You identify that and frame that. Then you talk about how you're feeling. You identify an emotion, identify a feeling. Then after that, you talk about the reason. How did this situation generate this feeling? And then at that point, the last thing is your request. You got to make a request. And generally, your request is going to include not just what's beneficial for you, but also what's beneficial for the other person. So if you're able to master this level of communication, you can be very clear and succinct in what you're looking for, what's going on, how you experience things, and the person's very clear on what the next steps are as far as making things better. So that's the SIR method. That's the technique I designed.
Because we're launching this product so that confidence can be instilled with these young men nowadays. Because, like I was telling Doc, I really don't understand it. But then when I've talked to a lot of people that do understand it, it's like Doc said, there was something missing. When you let women, single family homes, you let women try to become a father to a man, it's not their fault, but there was missing and lost in translation. Confidence can be taught. Confidence can be built from the inside. Like last week's talk was about having that vibrational energy with the emotions to use it for positive things. Doc, let me ask you another question. In the world, you deal with a lot of professionals also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel when somebody's not confident inside your therapeutic sessions, or when you're coaching a professional on the relationships at home and stuff, how does confidence play and the assertive communication that comes together with?
What I've seen with a lot of professionals, confidence is just the ability for you to do the thing you say you're going to do. You can be consistent within yourself. That's essentially what confidence is. So the communication part is critical in that, because you got to be able to relay that information to others. And so what I've seen in a lot of professional men, the men that I work with, it's not a capacity thing, right? Or a capability thing. It's learning how to convey messages in a way where other people can receive it, right? Because a lot of times, and Gordon, you were saying, a lot of times we as men, we've adopted this mentality that you just grit and bear it. You just push forward. You don't talk about the problem. You don't share your needs. You don't share what you got going on. And unfortunately, part of not sharing, not opening up, what falls into that, not with all men, but with a lot of men, is we don't assert ourselves. We don't say what we need. We don't. And so that's where we see a lot of those issues, right? Because I grew up in a two-parent home. My dad was there, but he never taught me to be assertive. I guess there was assumption that you will just get it, and you
Right.
get it, right? Because the way I grew up was you don't speak up for your needs, you don't speak up for what you want, you grin and bear it, and you just deal with it. And then you continue to move forward. But unfortunately, what happens is you move along in life, and because you never learn to be assertive, you never learn how to communicate, you don't know how to share your needs because you're not supposed to have them anyways. You end up just naturally being passive or letting people just say and do whatever they want to do. So I think that's what I've seen in a lot of the professional men I work with. It's not so much that they don't even have the confidence, it's that they don't have the communication skills necessary to convey that to other people of the, hey, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is what I'll put up with, this is what I won't put up with. So that's what I've seen more commonly than anything else.
That makes a whole lot of sense because, like you said, I come from a broken home too, right? So it's like one is teaching you something, but you're supposed to just get it regardless. But then you on the other side family, you got my real dad or something that's teaching me a whole different thing. I'm confused as crap, right? So now to become all my insecurities, I get overconfident or I just fake it till I make it kind of thing, which is not good because, like you said, you cannot convey that type of confidence until you've gone through life struggles, life things, now all these things that you want to do. But what's happened now, what I see in today's world, I come from an older generation where even though you suppress it, you say what you do it, and then you shake a man's hand, you look in the eyes, and boom, that's how it's supposed to be. The type of importance in having this confidence when you're not self-confidence, Doc, discuss the importance of tone, the body language, the clarity, the assertiveness, the communication style, some of the things that people take for granted, but
Mhm.
never been taught, like you said. These are going to be nuggets that we can take to give to people. And even if you don't have them, we want to offer you some mini workshops that you can have that going on for yourself. Because if you're not assertive, if your tone is not good, if you don't have the body language, you're going to have to rethink your life choices at this point.
So when you think about someone who's sure of themselves, right? What do they look like? They usually their chest is up. They're usually able to make eye contact. They usually have a firm handshake. Usually very clear with the things that they're saying, right? The communication. They're very clear with their communication. This is what they want. This is what they're trying to accomplish. You can believe it. There's actually emotion behind what they're saying as well. You can tell about their voice as well. What is the tone of their voice? If their voice is like low or trails off or things like that, you don't tend to trust someone like that. If someone were to ask you to borrow money and you were asking when I'm going to get it back, and they were hemming and hawing and they were shoulders slumped, or you wouldn't really believe what they're saying. Or if someone's giving a speech and they were just low tone, then you're not really going to believe what they're saying. You're not really going to take it in. It doesn't matter how true that is. And so there should be some energy, right? Like when it comes to be assertive, there should be some kind of force. I'm not saying you got to be loud or yelling or anything like that, but you should be energetic. You should see it in your eye. Like you should, again, firm handshake, the voice, the chest up, the shoulders back. If you're walking with like purpose, all of these things wrapped up help to show that, okay, this person is confident in themselves and they're assertive. And especially like when it comes to, not we're not doing the whole dating thing, but women need to see that as well. Women need
Oh,
to see,
absolutely.
okay, this guy is sure of himself. Why? Because if a woman is looking for you to protect her, to lead her, to guide her, she's got to make you got to be able to show that, okay, I can lead, I can protect, I can basically take care of it. I can handle it. I'm the guy for the job. But if you're not confident, if you're not assertive, if you don't know how to communicate, then all of that kind of falls apart. And that's why you might get rejected, not just with women, but also from jobs as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say, even in the professional setting, in the sales department, in the business, anything you do, you got to have confidence because if you have confidence and versus somebody that, you know, they might have uncertainty or things like that, where are you going to go to? You know what I mean? This is why people can't figure out a lot of somebody say it's charisma. Somebody says you're lucky. Somebody says, no, it's the way how you make others feel. You know what I mean? Are you a high value person that has this type of inner energy because of the life things, the life turbulences you've been there? And that's called wisdom. Like Doc said, there's a lot of time it goes in the business world, the professional world, in everything else that you can think of. You got to have one thing: confidence, conviction, right? If you don't have conviction, you don't hear in your voice, it'll go sideways really fast because people will try to catch you on it. Now, if you plant your feet in the ground and you say this, that, and you just rattle them off like you know it because you've been through it, we want to give you guys these things and put it in simple terms so that you guys can have this type of confidence to close more deals, get out of that friend zone, have that relationship with your kids, like with your family members, to be the leaderboard of your sales team. All this stuff can be done. It can be taught. Trust me, guys, it can be taught. It can be cultivated, it can be manifested, and it can be implemented really fast. A lot of times people don't think that, oh, they're just lucky. Oh, it's not my time. Guys, scan the code, click the link, do something, give us a little bit of time to take the $200 valued assessment for free. I want you guys to take that assessment so that we can stand where you're at, because if you're struggling in any one of these things, having clarity, not having the right body language, not having the right conviction, between me and Doc, we can get you to a place where, what would 20% do for you if you could be more confident in anything? What would assertive communication do for your life with your kids, your wife, your family, your boss, your manager? If you just asked what you want and you stood your foot ground, and then there's give and take. But we're going to teach you how to do these things. Doc, what kind of other things as a professional that are outlining key points when practicing these type of modules or workshops or role playing? What would be some of the things you could give on that you see?
That I see as far as what they can get from it?
Yeah. What do you get when you're uncertain versus when you're certain? What type of things that you see? Have you changed some stories? Like, you keep some of your clients' names, change the stories. Give me the biggest transformation you've seen from a person or a couple or family that gained the confidence to have this assertive communication.
Gosh, there are probably a lot of stories. I think everyone's
Right.
a big one, but I've seen men conquer anxiety and make
Oh,
progress in their businesses and learn and expand. I've seen men create emotional safe spaces with their wives to improve relationship and increase the levels of intimacy. Uh, yeah. I've seen men step out of their comfort zone and go connect with other men. I've seen, let's see, even in my own life, I've come this far by being able to start being assertive, by being able to stand up for myself, to be able to create all these different things that in the past I've had a lot of ideas, but never thought I was good enough or anything like that. But now that I know how to speak up, I know I am confident in myself. I'm able to start making so much progress. It's blinding. Yeah. So that side of the coin, right? But I've also seen those who are not assertive. I've seen them not have their needs met. I've seen their relationships crash and burn. I've seen them lose job after job. I've seen their health stay the same or get worse. Because there's more to being assertive than just I can speak up to other people. It's also about being assertive with yourself and recognizing that I don't want
yes.
to stay in the same place anymore. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so not only do we have to worry about being assertive outside, but also we have to really start with ourselves. Because I know for me, there were lots of excuses I used to make as far as why I wasn't making progress and why I wasn't making the money I need to make and why my health wasn't the way it was. There was all these types of excuses, why my marriage isn't the right way, why I'm feeling like this. But it wasn't until I started being assertive to myself and say, you know what, enough, stop it. You're not putting in the effort. You're not really trying. You're not reading the books. You're not doing the work. You're not putting yourself out there. So we're not going to sit there and complain about it. That's a level of assertiveness with myself.
Yep.
I have to be real with myself.
Yeah.
And listen, when I did that, my voice actually changed. I went from complaining and whining and feeling sorry for myself to this strong, assertive voice. Pick yourself up. What are you doing? Stop. And it kind of snapped me back to reality. And I started making change and progress at that point. So I think those would be the two sides of the coin, right? And I think if you want to really sum it up, ask yourself the question, do I want to stay the same? Or do I want to have a different change? Do I want to have a different life? Do I want to have a better life? And actually, let me rephrase that, because a lot of times we think just stay the same, but no one ever stays the same. So you have to ask yourself the question, do I want to get worse than what I am right now? Or do I want to get better? Because those are the only two options. So
Yeah, babe, it's perfect. You know what? One thing you hit was confidence is blinding. When you have a certain amount of confidence level, when you can conquer the world, when you look at a problem and you think of the solution, or you think of the solution and you already thought of how many ways it's going to fail, but you already thought of the solution beforehand, that's when you have confidence. Because with confidence, you can get things done because you're not afraid of shit. You know what I mean? When you're not afraid of nothing, you just put your head down, you just plow through it. And then the next thing you know, you've accomplished all these things. And the process of the journey that you become hasn't even reached that destination yet, but you've changed, like you changed into a different person already, which is what like I tell my wife, the process is the golden ticket. It's not the destination. The assertiveness, the communication level. Like we just had a talk about, I get loud. I'm not loud because I get passionate because I have so much information. But then my confidence level goes through things. Now she's talking about, I've already talked about the marketing plan, the things that we're going to do, the tagline, the name, the ads we're going to put. All of this stuff is going in my head, but the bottleneck is I need the information. And she takes it, I'm yelling at her. I'm just passionate about getting it done because this will take us to the next level in life. The constant change. And I was telling her, she goes, okay, change the delivery. So I changed the delivery a bit. She's tired. I get it. I said, but we have to communicate. We have to do things. And the intimacy level goes through the roof also because now you have good communication. Every relationship needs ups and downs. Because if I'm not irritating her, I told her, what's my job? But that's part of the problem. If every relationship is perfect, then you don't really have a relationship. You just going through the motion because nobody's growing, nobody's changing. Doc, another question, another topic that we have, right? Give me 3 ways with one area when you struggle, or the viewers, when they struggle with expressing their confidence or their assertiveness in their workplace, in relationships, in their job, whatever it is. Wow. Show me how you do it, or what are some of the techniques you use with your clients?
I think that the easiest thing, honestly, be yourself at all times. That's
Number
your
one.
whole life. Be yourself. If you talk a certain way, move a certain way, act a certain way, and of course, I'm not being respectful and obviously reading
Correct.
the room and knowing the crowd and all that, being professional, all that, right? But you can be yourself in all of those areas, right? Most of who you are is gonna be okay in most areas. So that's step number 1, because it's difficult to be assertive when you're trying to be somebody else. Because not only now do you have to have the voice and the eye contact and respect yourself and boundaries and your body language, all that. Now you got to pretend to be something that you're not. So now there's too much going on. So first things first, be yourself 100%. Then make sure that you're keying in on certain things, keying on your voice. What does your voice sound like? Is it all low? Or is it like, hey, my name is Keith. How are you doing? Hey, I'm glad to be here. You're able to project and present. And you don't got to be loud to do it. Hey, I'm Keith. Nice to meet you. The eye contact. I'm looking you in the eye. Look the person in the eye, shake their hand, engage with them. And then make sure you respect yourself. This goes back to making sure you are being authentic, right? Knowing that, hey, I deserve to be here. I belong here. It's okay for me to be here because I'm good. Because if you're coming in with self-doubt, all this other stuff, it's going to kill everything else. It's going to kill your voice. It's going to kill your eye contact. It's going to kill your body language if you're coming in with any self-doubt. So the next thing is your body language. What does your body look like? Right? I already talked about the handshake, shoulders back, chest up, eyes forward, chin up. If you're moving, it's walking fast, right? You have a purpose. You have somewhere to go. Right? And the last thing is boundaries. Make sure you enforce your boundaries. You're teaching people how to treat you. That's a big part of being assertive. Because if you don't hold your boundaries, you let people treat you any kind of way, all the other stuff doesn't matter. I can come in, go chest, back, head, being authentic, everything like that. But someone starts calling me names or joking on me, and I just let it slide, all the other stuff goes away. And there are some people that will test you. There are some people who will be like, they'll press you and they'll say something and they'll see, okay, will he bite? Or will he just fall back? What's going to happen? And if you don't speak up for yourself, you don't say, whoa, again, here's the thing with boundaries. You don't have to be overly aggressive. You can say, whoa, chill with that. I don't like that. That's enough. That's not for someone to take the nest and okay, I can't go that far. And so I would say, I know you asked for 3. I think I gave you guys like 6, but
Man, you could keep going because this is going to help our viewers to plan for the workshop. If you take the assessment, guys, we're going to offer you a free mini workshop that can help you propel you to gain this topic of confidence. Like Doc mentioned, you be yourself, be authentic. Please, even with all these people there trying to fake it to make it, they're trying to ball when they're not. They're wearing flashy stuff for nothing. Guys, when you got confidence, I'm going to tell you what I'm wearing board shorts and a God's Will t-shirt that's free from my friend. If you see me dressed in a $10,000 suit with a Richard Mille watch again, and I show up, something bad's happening. You know what I mean? But until this, even my wife was telling me, like, for all these years, like when we went back to Hawaii and she sees some of my friends, Doc, it's gonna be like this. You got convicted of this. I'm gonna say convicted of heinous crimes, bludgeon, death to this. Then you got me. And she looks at me like, what's in common with all this? We're all supposed to be doing life in prison right now. I mean, it's just the confidence level that we have, even like for convicts. We come out, we're overconfident because of what we've been through. The thing is, we have to learn to tone it down in the real world because this, like Doc said, he sees it from a different angle. I see it from a different angle, but combined, we have all the bases covered for the workshop that we got going on. That number one, we went through understanding confidence. We went through personal patterns, what you got for your emotions. We already went through overcoming self-doubt. We already going for building emotional awareness. Last week was the emotional vocabulary. We do have that PDF for you guys if you want it. Message us because I want you guys to go through this assessment so we can get this mini workshop to you going. And then today, assertive communication techniques, we've built up, if we can use 7 of these 10 that we got going on, we're already past the halfway mark. You have a good life to have confidence. You just don't even know yet. Maybe you just need a little nudge. Maybe you just need a little encouragement. Maybe you just need that one little push to get that promotion, to close that sales, to make that offer, to start that business. You know what I mean? Between the connections that you have, you can start practicing on your own in the mirror until you stop being tired of being tired and you went below that. You got tired and you told yourself in the mirror, now what? Now is when you reach out, guys. Because a lot of the times you just need somebody that's been in your shoes to push you in the right direction. This is the tools you need. Boom. Doc and I want to give you those tools. We want to give you a tool belt so that you can deal with all these challenges we see. I don't want you giving your money to women unless you're married. Then it's a whole different story. That's all jokes aside, though. But I just want to say, I want to close out with that, Doc, because please, you want to watch the inspirational videos I have every day. It goes through a lot of, you might see someone anime, you might see with black and white. The stories I put in there is real stories, guys. Real stories from life's purposes and challenges. And take the assessment, guys. Doc, can you close out?
Guys, just remember, as far as like being assertive, like we need to be that, right? Not just with others, but also with ourselves. That's where it can actually take place. When you start holding your feet to the fire and recognizing that this isn't where we need to be. This isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I need to reach out. I need to get help. You need to make sure you matter. Assertiveness is about you mattering. Like, you speak up for yourself because you're important. You have value. You don't allow people to run you over because you have value. You don't allow your thoughts and feelings to go just suppressed and ignored because you have value. And I'm telling you, when you start speaking up, you'll get higher than taking any drug because you start realizing how much power and control that you have in your life, how you don't have to be held to anyone else's standards, how you can actually speak up for yourself and you actually start mattering. I'm telling you, I've been there. There's a freedom there. And I cannot describe it. And it comes from that. It comes from being assertive. It comes from being able to say that, stand up and say, I matter. And I don't have to conform to what the world says. I don't have to do that. I don't have to conform to what my circle says. I don't have to do that. I can be my full authentic self. And if you guys don't like it, you can kick rocks to your toes bleed. That's fine. Anyone in my life who doesn't want to be in my life, if you don't want to take me as I am, but no one's going to know how you are unless you speak up. Because there's some people you think are offending you or hurting you, don't care. The problem is you're not speaking up, because if you did, they would have said, oh, I didn't know that. My bad. I didn't know you were going through this. I didn't know you felt this way. I didn't know you were hurt. But if you don't speak up and make your needs known, people can't meet your needs. There's no need for you to continue to suffer in silence. You have a voice. You have the power to say that. So do that. Be assertive.
Please be your true, authentic self. Guys, 9 out of 10 times you're going to see a scan code up here. Scan that code. Follow us. You can follow us on my LinkedIn page. We got Boundaries and Brotherhood on YouTube. We got Boundaries and Brotherhood on Instagram. We're on 7 different platforms that we run daily content so that you can go. But everything is based on YouTube, because now we're going to start building out the projects, the workshops, the free PDFs. You're going to see a lot of ads popping out. Click on one of them. It's free right now. We want to invite you to that free workshop so we can get you going as soon as possible. If you're tired, or very tired, click the link. Press the button. Scan the code. We made it easy. If you're okay where you're at, but you still want more tools to get ahead more in life, scan the code again. See where you're at. You might think you're out of 50. You take the assessment and be 20. We're here to help, guys. I'm Gordon Wat from Brotherhood.
This is Dr. Keith Fairclough. You guys take care. Have a great and blessed day. And we'll be back.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to watch all the other series on the channel. Join the community at our school and touch bases. Would love to hear from you.